I want to introduce you to the real secret of financial peace. It's an aggregation of incremental moves. Every big win you want in business, investments, and lifestyle, every goal you want, every dream, every manifestation comes with a price tag. To win big at achieving financial peace also has a price tag, and it requires some upfront payment and sometimes payment in full. Now, I'm not talking just about cash. We're talking about time, awareness, and discipline, among other things. But the moment you choose not to continue to pay the price is the moment that everything starts to collapse and the invaders move in and begin to take your lunch. Consider this. Most big wins, most major wars, big championships, and even market domination are all won by an aggregation of small or marginal gains. In other words, a measure of incremental plays or moves that produce huge gains or leverage over time. Take, for example, this story you might have heard of. Back in 2002, the British cycling team had only won one gold medal in over 76 years of its history. That all changed when they began to apply the theory of incremental or marginal gain to their sport. The idea was to break down and analyze everything that had to do with cycling and have every member on the team participate in making incremental improvements each day, everything that had to do with training to lifestyle. The results were astounding. At the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the British team won 7 out of 10 gold medals in cycling and did the same thing 4 years later at the 2012 London Olympics. Here's another example. The famous hot dog eating championship. Also using marginal gains and incremental theory, Takeru Kobayashi absolutely annihilated the competition at the 2001 Nathan's Coney Island hot dog eating contest. Up until then, the record stood at 25 hot dogs in 12 minutes. Takeru's approach involved just 4 incremental moves: breaking the hot dog into smaller pieces so he could try different chewing styles while freeing up his hands, splitting up the hot dogs and eating the bread and the dogs separately, dipping the bread in water before eating, and finally having different body movements to aid in the chewing and swallowing. So what were the results? To the amazement of everyone center stage and on the panel, the 128-pound man gulped down a total of 50 hot dogs in the allotted 12 minutes. They even ran out of number signs that actually showed the progress of the contestant. No one else came close. Okay, so here's one more. I met Mr. Sam Walton back in 1986. Mr. Walton was, of course, the founder of Walmart, the world's largest retailer. However, just a few years before we met, Walmart was still considered a David, going up against Kmart, a Goliath, and other giants of retail back then. This is actually a business case study that I use, and it involves incremental moves combined with good market strategy. Walmart strategically instituted the following 5 incremental moves. They focused on reducing direct costs, administrative and operating expenses. They promised everyday low prices to customers. They hired only non-union employees. They placed big stores strategically in small towns. They neutralized the competition by creating a supply chain network that redefined the industry. The results were legendary. In just a few short years, in the 1980s, Walmart's growth exploded. From 276 stores, 21,000 associates, and $1 billion in revenue in 1980 to over 800 stores and $8.4 billion in revenue. By the time we actually met in 1986, Mr. Walton was number 1 on the Forbes wealthiest persons list. And a few short years later, Kmart filed for bankruptcy. Walmart has dominated the retail space to this day. The whole incremental gain theory and philosophy is pretty easy to understand, but for some reason, really hard for most people to actually believe in such dramatic breakthrough results. Only in hindsight does it all look so simple, but the reality is that it takes an open-minded leader, a really smart support team that can identify 1 to 2 critical issues in any situation. We call them pivot points that can multiply the effectiveness of efforts, and the team then focuses and concentrates its actions and resources. There are thousands of case studies of building a culture of incremental improvements and strategies designed to win. It's what we call entering the winner circle, and it can work for you as applied to creating your own financial peace. How? Well, for starters, you need to gain control of and permanently reduce your taxes with a series of strategic incremental moves that reduce your tax liability to near zero, both legally and ethically. Second, you'll need to master cash flow and profits to aggregate consistent revenue streams within your current business and investments, making it as easy as turning on and off a water faucet. Negative cash flow and taxes are the top inhibitors of wealth. Our proprietary programs and strategies are designed to take those head on by reducing and eliminating them both and allowing you to focus more on strategically building massive wealth. Then and only then will you truly discover real financial peace. The price to win big and achieve financial peace is often more than the average person is willing to pay, but it doesn't mean that it's more than the average person is capable of paying. And besides, you're not trying to be average, are you? So what's the price tag? Right now, the price tag is just having an open mind and the ability to adjust your focus and vowing to never again let cash flow issues and overpaying taxes take your lunch. Right now, you can set a new trajectory for your business, your investments, and the lives of you and your family just by reaching out to book a free introductory session. Within 48 to 72 hours, you can unlock the secret to the financial peace that you and your family deserve. So what are you waiting for? Learn more, save more, build more. Book a free introductory session today.